Today we're going to check if Chapter 4 update on Signal Realm did make it easier to farm scrolls to build your dream hero. To do this, I have prestiged my main character to see how many scrolls I can get just by getting to level 70. Furthermore, we will try to build something useful from it, so stay tuned for that. So we start off straight up on level 70 without doing any rolls whatsoever. I only used some of the skill cards and talent cards to be able to get the core abilities for the build I want to go for, which is the execute spam, which we'll get into that later. But as you can see, I've got 1000 ability as talents, scrolls of fortune to reroll skills, and over 2,000 to 2,500 of the talent rerolls. So that's quite a lot, considering that I only had 60,000 marks of ascension to spend on, but we're going to get into that later. I did get so many, mainly due to the fact that, as you can see on my character, I have prestiged 38 times, but overall on this account, I have prestiged already over 100 times. This meant that by prestiging this time around, this 101st, I did receive, I think it was 500 scrolls for skills and 1000 for talents. The rest, I did manage to buy from the buyback vendor in Silas. As you can see, when you prestige character right now, you can also repurchase the scrolls, and the actual price is a joke now, to be honest. As you can see, I used pretty much everything I have. It's like only 50 marks of ascension per one scroll of fortune, and 33 marks of ascension per one talent scroll, so it's really cheap. Just by prestiging this one, I didn't have any marks of ascension. I did get to 60,000 along the way, and for that I bought another over 400 skill scrolls and over 1,400 scrolls from this guy. There's all the main scroll menu went also cheaper, because for one scroll of fortune and 2 talent points we can obtain them for 250, which then blocks on 1000. So the price actually went down by 2/3, which is quite a lot. And considering that we get marks of ascension by pretty much everything we do, especially the daily quests from the Colbert quests, getting those scrolls is not actually that hard. If we take a look, the one simple quest, daily quest that we have to do in the DBC content out in the open world, we get 6,000. This means that by turning in one simple quest, we can get 6 scrolls for skills and 12 scrolls for talents, which is quite a lot considering that you do those pretty fast. And if you haven't played before, or you're just coming back, you can repeat those quests all 84 times. As you can see, it was in my case, those are repeatable until you use all of those. So there are shit tons of things. If you like leveling, you can just go and start prestiging, because the more times you prestige, the more scrolls you get. Also on max level, naturally you get per prestige you get, I think, 5 skill scrolls and 10 talent scrolls, so it's quite a lot. Yeah, that would actually be the proper counting, because I received over 500 skill scrolls and that 1000 for talent, so that would be the proper amount. So I could probably do more quests and get even more scrolls for this character, but for the moment I don't really want to. I want to see what I can do with the amount of scrolls I already have. So I want to test out the pure execute spam build with daggers, mutilate and disembowel. And I do have some basic stuff, literally didn't get lucky during the reroll stages. So if you want to try it out as well, you can check out this build. I actually did publish it. It's named Execute by Venari. You can find it in the Architect if you want, but yeah, first we will see if it's gonna work even. So I didn't actually spend too much time making it, just threw some random stuff that I thought is gonna work well with Execute. So let's see what numbers we can actually get with it. But first, let's go into the rolling. So we go for the rapid roll, import all the desired spells in here, and unlearn all non-spell build, and we're ready to go. Alright boys, so after re-rolling those 3,500 scrolls, we are left over with a couple of things to re-roll, and still a couple of things to check in here. But I think I should be able to slot some cards here and there, and I should be ready to go mostly for the build with all the crucial stuff, so we can at least see what it is capable of. So from abilities, I definitely need Hunger for Blood, Titanic Strike, and probably Slice and Dice to have some more haste uptime. I'm gonna keep those two carded for the moment. I'm not quite sure about Slice and Dice just yet. So we're going to leave it at that, and now let's check out how many talents do we actually need. Quite a lot, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I need 10. Thunderburst is not really needed that much, it's just a small addition. And I think we can drop a quick death because haste is mostly for auto attacks, and we're also dropping Slice and Dice for the moment, so auto attack stuff can wait. Oh man, I completely forgot that I have used already 2 slots, so it's not so easy then. Okay, I definitely Titan's Fury. I also didn't slot Overwhelming Rage, so I need to have it for this build to function properly. So to finish up the core of the build, we're going to go with those talents. Dark Intent is quite important for the Disembowel ticks. Faith in Blood for more damage from Disembowel as well. Natural Energy for some energy regen, plus Hunger for Blood cooldown reduction. This is quite important because Hunger for Blood constantly gives us like 10% of physical damage increase, so uptime on this is quite important. And Titan's Fury plus Overwhelming Rage is our bread and butter, as we will generate even more combo points thanks to that. Okay, I do have some strength gear waiting for me, which is nothing really that amazing, but it's definitely still better than heirloom gear I have, so at least we can get somewhat accurate test of what we can do on this character. Okay, item level of 115, 2000 attack power, 700 bonus spell damage. Nothing really that fancy, but the most important thing that is that Execute actually does take mostly attack power, like only attack power in consideration, but actually Blood and Guts, which is executing Disembowel, which mostly is the most important thing for us, actually benefits from both attack power and spell power, so I think that going the hybrid way is still better in this case, but we're gonna see very soon. Okay, let's go and see what this bad boy is capable of. We need to apply Rend initially. Unfortunately, we didn't get the talent that refreshes it, so the rotation will be kind of bad without it. As I will drop Hunger for Blood for a little bit too long because of that, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, let's go. So we charge in, apply Rend, double Mutilate into Titanic Strike, pop all of our cooldowns into Bloodthirst, also Smash, Disembowel, and Big Executes. Let's do it, boys. Another Disembowel into another Colossus Smash, and another Big Executes. And another Execute. Nice. Okay, we reapply Titanic Strike and carry on with the Mutilate rotation. Now Colossus Smash into Disembowel, and we go with another big rotation of Colossus Smashes and Executes. Okay, it's almost 30k, so I would say nothing really that amazing, but it's still pretty good. Especially that using all those Executes with one go is really damn satisfying, to be honest. And Big Executes once again. Nice, it can ramp up very nicely and highly. Yeah, it seems that it caps out at 30k. Yeah, nothing really that great. I mean, 30k is a nice entry level. I would say it's a Medicore build for starters with this item level, but we still miss some points. It seems that Execute in itself isn't really that pumping. I mean, we do see some very nice big numbers from Execute, but we've got plenty of buttons in here to press, and it's actually quite hard to be able to fully automate it, as we do have the Colossus Smash windows. I should probably pick another Colossus Smash in the rotation, and then maybe I could smoothen it out a little bit. Yeah, I do have one free slot, so we're gonna go for Shadow Smash as well. Okay, so unfortunately the rotation cannot be just brought down to one or two simple macros. There are just literally too many reactive things to it. I just put my all 3 Colossus Smashes under one button with all the cooldowns, so you know, in case of that big burst window, I can pop literally anything I can. Then you need to track the Titanic Strike constantly, the buff, and just execute whenever Disembowel is up. It's just that simple. From time to time you get that sudden death proc in between rotation, so it's also very useful to use on literally every cooldown. But yeah, let's see what we can do in the in AoE rotation actually. Yeah, not bad. Almost 80k, which is pretty damn good if you ask me. Another burst window of opportunity. And another one. Those cooldowns are really not that long. A very steady 50k, which looks pretty good if you ask me. And almost 13 single target. Nothing really that crazy, but to be honest, it seems that it's not really worth that whole bloodthirst route we took. It's probably better to completely drop all those bleeding stuff, and just go into, you know, all damage done increase and stuff like that, even more attack power, more spell power, just to, you know, buff that pure execute damage. And I think it can go really crazy at times, this route. So in AoE situation, executing Disembowel crits for like 40k. And we constantly do very nice single target rotation as well, so pretty good damage. But let's go and see, for example, how we can fare in some mana storms. The biggest problem is that you have to constantly switch the targets to be able to disembowel them, and so that they live long enough so that the execute hits everybody. And it's actually really hard to pull off, to be honest. The bosses do melt though. Yeah, I'm still a little bit confused within the rotation, unfortunately. Let's see if we can get into some mythic dungeon maybe. That would probably be a little bit easier to do. As in mana storms, the mobs simply do not have that much health. Okay, let's try a different route with those low HP monsters. Just try to do some Crimson Tempest, if this is even like any viable route. Yeah, they just melt, so we at least do have some option to be able to deal crazy amounts of damage, and bosses just simply melt with like one rotation. With this build, it's level 267, so nothing really that crazy. And single target monsters like that also melt, thanks to the massive damage of execute. But it's good that we actually found ourselves in here, due to the fact that there will be plenty of monsters in here to fight with. Yeah, and our AoE is dog shit actually. But this is, those have a little bit more HP, and it seems that this is perfect situation for that. Execute Disembowel, which I haven't used this time around, but let's go in there. The best thing would probably be just charge to the boss and then start execute Disembowel from them. Yeah, you just have to like look for the mob with the most HP and then try to pull off some AoE off of him. If not, one single rotation is enough to actually get rid of those guys, so sometimes it does work off of those, sometimes it doesn't. It seems that the range from those guys is nothing really that amazing. I mean, from the disemboweling execute. The funny thing is that I think this boss is immune to bleed damage, so we are so fucked. No, he actually is not. So it's not so bad. Okay, this one was a little bit harder, but the burst is pretty nice. Complete opposite than the previous build I have created. That target swapping in AoE is kinda annoying at times, I will admit. Oh my god, this boss is gonna be terrible with all the odds that's gonna die due to the cleave. But it will be pretty funny, to be honest. Yeah, let's go and see. Why'd they do so much damage? Oh my god. Me like crazy, I just use disembowels constantly. But yeah, we did manage to get him down finally. Oh my god, the dying targets are the worst actually, because they cannot be executed then. Oh, here will be a lot of the small HP, or maybe not even that small. 30k is not so small. And it's also pretty annoying that I really need that Titanic Strike initially to be able to start doing some serious business. And also when targets die, you need to reapply all your bleeds and stuff like that. It just takes time. And like even in mana storms, you are literally dying in the meantime, so that small Crimson Tempest does help a little bit. Maybe Blind Revenge would be better. Otherwise, it's pretty damage is pretty damn crazy, and with Titanic Strike auto combo point generation, it's even better. And I'm dead. One stun. Unfortunately, we don't really have like many means or any means of survivability, so this does hold us back a little bit. Although it's pretty fun build, it seems that there's quite a lot of room for improvement. Just completely abandon the bleeds. I thought that maybe it will be worth it, but execute damage is just, you know, leading the charts, and there's like literally no point investing in anything else. So also, thanks to Titanic Strike, we don't lose any rage whatsoever. Man, I can't even do like my burst because I have to run away from all the spells and stuff just flying towards me. Too busy collecting hearts at the moment. Where is she? Yeah, if I attempt to go for her, I will just simply die. The damage is too big. There's like no automation in this build. Unfortunately, mainly for mana stuff, only like the shadow builds with a lot of healing and some defensives, maybe paladins also, are available. These, you know, pure DPS builds cannot really do that much. I would love to go for some kind of mything or anything. Unfortunately, no queues are popping. It seems that not so many people actually did come back to check it out. I mean, it's quite late already also, but still. There are some people, but really not many. Let's see on this target dummy what we can actually dish out. But of course on dummies it's easier, they stand in one place. You don't have to kite around, you don't have to avoid incoming damage, so big helping factor. Another 2 burst windows, which is nice, and all that auto combo point generation helps this out quite a lot, to be honest. With Titanic power we can just simply go into Colossus Smash, disembowel, and then 3 big executes. Yeah, like 26k on the boss dummy. I don't know why, but my execute damage went lower by quite a lot. I've seen 80k crits and now they're only like 40. So it's not really that big, especially that we can pump quite a lot of those executes. Unfortunately, the damage is not yet there. There's quite a lot of stuff that can be dropped from the build and swapped over for like pure all damage increase and stuff like that. So there is still hope if you want to check it out. Let's see on execute training dummy, as we do have a talent named Reaping Gallows, which execute deals 30% more damage against targets below 35% and 60% more damage against targets below 10%. So execute phase is actually quite important for this one. So let's check it out. Oh yeah, I completely forgot that I don't even have to like use my executes now. Not executes, but Colossus Smashes. I can just spam execute now because those are in execute phase constantly. For executes into disembowel, let's put some armor pen on. Yeah, the deeps, this did went up a little bit. And the damage of the disembowels as well, it seems. Okay, it seems that we will not really get any instance, so let's try out some solo mana storms once again. See how far we can actually get. Okay, apply 5 combo points, Titanic Strike, then Colossus Smash, disembowel, and proceed to spam massive executes. Then into another Colossus Smash, disembowel, and more executes. We cannot even like do one full rotation and the bosses melt. The problem are actually the trashes. Let's see with Crimson Tempest. I mean, we can throw some here and there and supplement them with executes, but it's not really that effective if you ask me. Oh my god, I got such a big lag. suddenly. He teleported somewhere. He's dead. In Mana Storms also it seems that the execute damage went up. I thought that base execute damage is actually higher than the executing disembowel, but it seems the other way around now. Over here we will have massive HP for AoEing. Let's maybe try with Crimson Tempest. If this is even like viable. No, I'm gonna be dead in seconds actually. I mean, the damage is not that bad. We can at least kite a little bit with it and use some executes here and there. That's kind of doable. Let me check Crimson Tempest. Crits for 7k, so not so bad actually with Dark Intent. Yeah, 10k per tick. With those amounts of HP, I think it's not really that bad. But we've got the boss now. Come here, don't knock me. Oh shit, I messed up the rotation. But he got killed with literally one rotation of executes. So that's kind of strange. That's kind of funky. Okay, massive damage incoming. Yeah, one rotation of executes and they are dead. Considering the previous build I tried with the bleeds and stuff, I did have more mobility, not mobility, but survivability in it. But unfortunately, the ramp up time was so actually high that this time around I kill bosses so much faster. I mean, with Crimson Tempest, it's not so bad actually, look at this. Yeah, Land Shark did also quite massive damage, and also Dark Intent is proccing every time. So maybe it's even better in those situations where you have some quick AoE to be done. Now let's go check once again. Yeah, it definitely works better than just, you know, changing targets and looking for stuff constantly. Oh my god, that incoming damage. Crazy, mate. Yeah, well, then we can also kite a little bit because this allows us to reposition ourselves. I can also put on some Hell Scream. Jesus Christ, their casts are so deadly. Cannot interrupt him at all. Oh, he's dying already. Oh, this boss took 34k damage. DPS actually. Okay, I have to admit that when you start getting some practice, it seems that it's getting better, but those packs are kinda annoying. Let's see if we can do something here. Yeah, there's just plenty of random damage going on in here. But the bleeds seem to be working. There's a massive guy in here. Shit, that stun into the AoE damage. His mechanics really are no joke. No, don't stun me now. Yeah, with Titanic Strike up, it's the damage is even better from Crimson Tempest. I wonder if I would have Twilight, if that would help. Holy moly, I need to run away straight away from there. Yeah, I just dropped some bleeds on them and ran away. This freaking annoying mother flower. I can apply some bleeds at least and look for hearts on the ground. No, I cannot. Didn't lost this time and I lost. Yeah, but look at this, just a couple of Maelstrom, Mana Storms, oh my god. And we receive even more scrolls for rerolls, so that's quite wild. That's quite nice. Just from starting I received like 40 rerolls by randomly doing some Mana Storms. So I think, coming back to the beginning of the video, this definitely helps. I do really like that now literally single prestige means like salting a build. Except it requires you to level up a little bit, but still. For now, I think I'm going to be fooling around with this build for a little bit longer. I need to change all that bleeding nonsense into pure powerhouse for execute, and then we'll see. Yeah, Crimson Tempest is working fine. All those smaller HP groups. I can just kite them, avoid stuff while doing so this is even better. Also, I can just pump execute if needed. Big disembowel, and now massive executes to finish him off. Yeah, it's definitely getting a little bit better when it comes down to damage and survivability. Oh my god, said it in the wrong hour. It just simply seems that, yeah, 4 ads will kill me. But there's quite a lot of decision making going into this. When you see like big damage, when you see like a big HP monster, you definitely have to like go the disembowel route, and if they have lower HP, just straight up go for the Crimson Tempest and be done with it. Oh shit, used the wrong button. My mistake. But bosses melt anyway, so... Oh shoot, those shamans heal him and I just cannot AoE them down passively, it seems. Need to kill this shaman. He's really annoying. Yeah, 78k, that's actually quite a lot. So we go in, disembowel, into execute. 152, oh my god. Greedy demon, haven't seen those in ages. I mean, haven't been playing this season that much lately, so... Man, I have to really try hard to be able to live through this. There are so many mechanics and you actually have to... Oh yeah. Have to mess around with the rotations, so... definitely cool build for training dummies. No, just kidding. With better practice, it goes definitely pays off a little bit. Crimson Tempest is one option for AoE, but... Yeah, the most damage comes from executing disembowel, as you can see. It can be really overwhelming at first with just upkeeping all the buffs, tracking your Titanic power and, you know, all the Colossus Smash, disembowel, uptimes. It's definitely not really that easy as it seems. You can make it like very simple just by spamming mutilate into disembowel into execute, but then you drop quite a lot of DPS because of it. So those Colossus Smash windows are really mandatory. But yeah, nonetheless, we did have check, we did get plenty of scrolls actually, just by prestiging, naturally. We didn't farm that much, especially it was mostly failing and build checking, but it was quite fun nonetheless. I don't know, maybe I will still pay some more attention to this build. The problem is that it's not that great for farming mana storms, it seems. And it can be, because of that, it can be a pain in the ass to actually farm scrolls. But maybe I'll just go and do some quests, you know, and finish it off. We'll see. But yeah, then again, guys, the build that is on the Hero Architect is not really completed. It actually consists a lot of wrong information. So, why I don't see this? Oh, there you are. I actually will delete this build because, yeah, too many wrong information. I will try to figure out something for it, and then I will let you know, guys, how it's going. But if you like Rogue Dagger playstyle, it seems that Edge of Fury is probably better at this point. But yeah, nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.